Yo, 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 a huge wagwan to all of my fellow designers. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be going over some of my subscribers, or I could say my Discord users' artwork. I made a video about a month ago on who wants a free logo, where basically I said that if you'd like to enter the competition, all you have to do is submit 3 to 5 pieces of artwork. A month has gone by, lots of people have submitted. Today we're going to sit down and I'm going to go through all of the artwork, the things I like, the things I think could be improved, and I'm going to try and narrow it down to who I think should win a free logo. I'm going to announce that person. I'm then going to start working on the video where I create the logo for this person. They will also receive a shout out, obviously, because I'll be making their logo as a video. If you guys like this little 3-part video series I've done, then let me know, because I'm thinking of doing it again with more prizes. Right then, without further ado, let's start having a look at some of this artwork. Right, so the first thing that's been submitted into the Discord is from Mart475. He says, can we chuck pics in here? Okay, let's skip to the artwork. So the first set of submissions are from Matt Roy. He has what looks like some thumbnails. They're clean, they're very clean, they're nicely color graded. I like the purple and then the purple and white text. It's very smooth, the skins look nice. The logo is cool. It's a how to make a logo like Griffin GFX logo. Yeah, I'd say these are clean. They're nicely color graded. My advice would be to make the skins look more welcomed on the page. There's lots of effects you can do, like color behind the skin or even overlaying on the skin to help the skin fit into the environment better. It looks like you might have done some of that. I can see some lighting around the side, but I'd say there's room for more. I'm actually going to go ahead and give you a level 2 designer. We now have Chaos the Fish. This is very interesting. Me and a Sweat. He's clearly being shot by someone that's better at him, and he's salty, so he's called the person a Sweat. You know, it's interesting. It's a very interesting thumbnail, I'm not gonna lie. I would say avoid using text like this. Nobody wants to read that. You've put the Fortnite logo right underneath it as well. I would say that isn't very necessary. And maybe lose this thing in the top left corner. If you want to watermark your thumbnails, I'd say there's nicer ways of doing it than that. We have an upload from Jelliot. The text is actually aimed at my mum, and I don't personally appreciate it. It's probably censored out just out of respect for my mum. You know, the banner overall, the text is quite nice. I like Orp Asimovs. They're a big part of my life, the Orp Asimovs, so I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10. We now have some artwork from a man named Cum. His name on here is not Cum, however, it's JMS. Here we have what looks like a cinema 4D banner, some brick texturing. You know, this man, I know him personally, he's actually built like a brick, so you know, I see why he's done this. Here we have some kind of like slimy. This thing here is absolutely amazing. He would have won the competition, but it isn't actually his. We now have Penis Parker. This thumbnail to me is very average. The text doesn't stand out. I would not click on a video that said text put here either. Here's a picture of himself with some 3D effect. He's done some work for Lil Mosey there, you know. I'm going to say just keep working on graphic design. This effect here, I remember learning this like on the first year of my graphic design course. I think I already knew how to do it, but it's one of those things they just teach you. It's all quite generic, I would say. Just keep practicing with style effects. These are both quite messy in my opinion. You know, I see you're going for a vibe. We have one piece of artwork from Vexula Arts. I'm guessing he has some more later in the competition. Some banners for Fnatic. Yeah, I mean, these are quite cool. If this is all your work, then it's quite interesting. I like the cutout shapes and stuff. The use of color is good. I'd say my only advice is that the people don't stand out, like with the background and then the amount of color and stuff. I think it's very important for the gamers on the front to really stand out. So maybe have like a white kind of blur layer behind them just to separate them from the background. We now have some work from Ludi, or FoozyTube, should I say. Oh, so here you can't even see this. It says be right back. I thought it just said be back. So yeah, work on that. You can't put grey on grey, you can't put white on white, you can't put black on black. It's just something that you should know. I mean, I'm guessing this here isn't your artwork. If you were to have drawn all this, it would have been very sick. I don't know what game this is. I actually really like this. It's really small, so I can't get it in high quality, but it's like an A on a bit of rock. If that's digitally painted by you, then that's quite impressive. I quite like this banner. It's super simple. It looks like it would be for like a child's gaming channel type thing. This is upload 2 from Elliot. The graphics is maybe a 3 out of 10, so a slight improvement from last time. But I'm actually going to give this a 4 out of 10 because I approve of the message. We now have Mars Boy. It is a little pump with a double cup in hand. I like it. I would say it's very loud. There's a lot going on. That's obviously your aesthetic, as there's literally a skedit being screamed in the background like throughout. He follows up with a thumbnail for his podcast. I actually had a look at his podcast. I know what the people look like and he's captured them quite well here. So I quite like this. He's then replaced the jacket that Bob Marley is wearing to be his own branded jacket, and he's posted one of his merch designs. Overall, I quite like this. I would say there are things you could do to improve. However, you've definitely got your own style. Like, I love the way that you've done your own hair and your friend's hair. Moving on to Basto. Now, we have a red fish with a green belly. We have a red fish with a green intersection, followed by some spikes coming out of his ass. You know, pretty cool stuff. He's then dropped this, which looks like something he's built in Minecraft and taken a picture of. And finally, this logo. To be honest with you, the fact that you've posted this logo, which seems to be a copy and pasted Fortnite skin onto a black rectangle with white text going over the top, I would have to say you just need more time in Photoshop. You need to develop a style, and until you start kind of going deeper into your artwork, it's going to be hard for other people to critique you. We now have some work from Mask Designs. I quite like this. It's simple, it's effective. I like the metallic text. I would personally say that these strokes don't suit the kind of banner that you're doing. These kind of strokes would suit a geometric flat banner, but because this text is 3-dimensional, I would say you should have used something else as a border, or maybe just got rid of it completely. I like this. I think this was inspired from the Muddy Cloud Television piece that I did on Instagram a while ago. And this as well. This is quite clean. I quite like it. The background is very lost. However, I think it's quite a cool background. Like with the trees and the shallow depth of field, I would have actually kept this brighter and enhanced some of the colors. If you were doing it just to make the text stand out, you could have put something darker behind the text itself. These are just some of my ideas. Here we have artwork from Peroist Noob. There's a lot going on here. I don't know what's yours and what isn't. That's a problem that I'm having with quite a few of your pieces, which is why in the next giveaway I'm going to be picking a specific topic that you guys have to draw, but in your own style, so that I can critique it easier. If you've done this mascot logo as well, then I like it. I'm not a fan of the background, the plus symbols, the stroke effects, and this text effect. It's very overused. You're obviously going for a kind of grungy, messy look, but I feel like you could have been more unique with it. Here we have some thumbnails from Lenny. I would say you need to work on making these cleaner. Thumbnails these days need to really stand out if you want your channel to look different, or even if you want people to be clicking on your videos. They have to either be done really well, really aesthetically pleasing, or they need to be very unique. Here we have a banner from Kiro. It's a Fortnite Stranger Things banner. It's alright. I like the effect that he's used on this character. The lightening's cool. Overall, it doesn't do that much for me personally. This is some more work by him. I would give you similar advice to some advice I've given to other people. Don't just copy text effects that you found off of YouTube, and if you do, try and modify it and work out how to make it unique, because a lot of what I'm seeing is kind of the starting stages I went through in design, which was just following tutorials, using the basic blending options and that kind of stuff. So keep working at it. Here's some cartoon artwork by someone called Vexilur. It's cool, it's clean. I would say work on the pen tooling. I can see that the lines aren't consistent, like at the top where the spikes are, for example. It's a little bit messy. And facial expression. He looks like he's just swallowed an apple whole and is about to die. But other than that, it's actually quite a nice piece. Someone has asked when the giveaway ends. It has ended right now. Here we have some work from someone called Caliber. I would say the backgrounds work very well with the characters. I like the effect on this. You've gone for the same visual effect on the skin as the background. The lightening overlapping at the front is nice. He feels like he very much fits inside that image. Some of them not so much, like this one to me is very average. The crack in the middle of this one's quite cool. I would say you know what you're doing. You have an eye for graphics. Keep working at it. Try and branch out from just Fortnite. When I just see Fortnite skins everywhere, it's hard for me to critique because it's not that hard to copy and paste a Fortnite skin and then start throwing effects over the top. But as far as they go, I would definitely say you're doing well there. Here we have some artwork from Alex. He's posted 3 faces. I mean, these are cute. If one of them was like this, there would have been more to review, but the fact that all 3 of them are the same, I did say try and vary your artwork, but you know what? These are cool. I guess they're like your friends or something. Yeah, why not? They're interesting. Here we have some artwork from Queshy, more artwork from Kiro. Here's some artwork from someone called Shirtless Mezzo. This is actually really cute. I like it. Keep working on this style. Just develop it. Do your own stuff. This as well, it's absolutely tiny. I have a feeling I would quite like it if it was bigger, but I can't really see what's going on there, so we're going to move on. This is upload 4 from Mask. I could have edited this together so that I did each person at a time, but people have posted them all over the place. So instead, I'm just going to go through it all in the order that it's in. Then I'm going to watch it back myself and try and make a decision afterwards. Here's some artwork from Tom to Zoo. I'm going to say keep on working, try and find your style, look at other people's graphics and figure out what you like about it and then work towards that. I like on this banner, there's a clear color theme. You've got pink and then you've got light blue, you've got that retro aesthetic. With the rest of them, they all feel a little bit lost, like you don't know quite what direction to go in. Caliber has then posted his artwork again, so he's now been officially disqualified. Here we have some graphics from Scott, who's already a level 2 designer on the server. I like this piece, the logo in the background, but just as a stroke. That's something that I haven't seen before. I quite like that. And this here looks like it's done well. I would say that there's maybe a lack in consistency. For example, there's like this gradient effect in the background, but then here it's like purely line work. And then over here, it almost feels slightly 3-dimensional with the amount of effects that's going on. So I'd say bring it down into either being flat, being 3D, being geometric. I'm not saying don't play around with the banners, but if you do too much of that, I would say you're going to pay the price because your banner isn't going to look very clean. I'd say you know what you're doing. You've clearly been designing for a little while. Some of these are quite nice. Here we have some artwork from Surprise GFX. It's of Bart Simpson as some kind of 6'9" looking thug. He's holding a blunt. His eyes are red. He's got a big dappy style beanie on. Here we have some artwork from Elias Zerual, something like that. We have a dude and his face is kind of dripping. This reminds me a bit of Frogsy. You might know him from Instagram. The actual quality of this is quite low. I don't know why it's so blurry. Make sure you're on a large canvas whilst you're working, and this background is just very messy. I don't know why I can see 6'9" in the top left corner and why it's all blurry, and I don't know, there's lots that I don't like about this. However, the actual drip effect and the way it's all going in one direction and stuff, you know, it's alright, keep on working at it. He's done this and it's presented in a very weird way. I've actually seen that position of Bart before, so I know that he's just changed the outfit. But that's alright, I've done that before when I've made my Hypebeast cartoons sometimes, so I'm no one to judge. Here we have more from Vexulor. These banners I actually really like. I think this one's pretty clean, consistent colour theme. I would say there's a consistent style throughout as well. This big wave coming through with space showing through, I think that's pretty sick. And this one here, again, it's quite consistent in that the whole image comes together nicely. I like the stroke text over the character and then it becoming white as it gets further out. There's lots going on, but it doesn't look messy because everything feels like it's there for a reason. So I like this banner. Here we have more work from Elias. It's more bodily fluids dripping down a man's face. We have some artwork here from Film. We have some artwork here from someone called Film. I see what you've gone for. It makes sense. Wooden boxes in a forest, you know, it's got a theme for sure. I would say there's a bit too much color grading over it. It looks a bit washed out. Now I have no idea what this says in the top right corner on this thumbnail. However, that isn't strong enough for me to want to click on this, and that's what I'm going to rate the thumbnails on. All I know is that there's a Fortnite character and he's crying. Maybe because he has to go through all those spikes in the background. I don't know. We'll move on. This is from Chaos the Fish. I'm not a fan of the text in the background here. It's very generic. The color doesn't really suit the background or anything like that. This one I prefer. The pink definitely pops out a lot more, but I would still say it's a little bit too messy for my liking. And here it looks like you've improved again. The text is quite clean, but once again, try and find some better background imagery. You want to use some high quality, maybe look for Fortnite wallpapers and just select a tiny part of it just so that you can get the colors and the energy from it. but without kind of actually having a screenshot from Fortnite as the backdrop. Here's some work from Tyson. This logo here is cool, but the thumbnails are very generic. There's nothing impressive going on here in my opinion. When I see lightning strikes like this, it's not even nighttime, there's not even a storm going on, so it doesn't really make sense for it to be there. I guess the skin looks like it might be summoning lightning in some way, but overall it's not very consistent. The text effects and the lightning, it's quite overused, so we're going to move on. This is some artwork from... I like this a lot. This is really clean. I like the fact that the background is grey and not black. It makes the white really stand out very nicely. The text going through the middle, and then he's got kind of this revenge, like emo punk type band. It's kind of revenge style text. I really like it. This as well is super simple, but it shows you know what you're doing. It's minimalistic. I quite like this, I'm not gonna lie. Here we have some work from Common Sid. These are alright. Keep working at it. You'll find your style. You're not off to a bad start. Here we have some artwork from Smashy. Now, I like it when I see stuff like this because it's just different. Like, never in my life have I seen anything like what I'm looking at right now, I'm not gonna lie. So for that, I definitely have to give it points. It stands out. That's like a American bro fist. The text pops. It's all quite simple graphic design. There's nothing too special going on, but the fact that he's just gone for a different direction, it's unique. Here we have some artwork from Scythe. I see what you've tried to do with the text going behind the car, but because the car is quite low quality, the image is just all one color. It doesn't really work, if you know what I mean. Like, you hardly notice that the text is behind it. It kind of just looks like you're missing parts of the text. So bring the car into the foreground more. You want to see a definite gap between the car and the background, so there's a bit of blur. Then you could go and maybe put text behind it. I also think that with the stroke on the text, that also makes it harder to do that. This is his other piece of artwork. This is quite an overused effect. I think FaZe used to do this back in the day. As you've only got Ariana Grande's left eye and half of her mouth, I would say it doesn't really make sense to use it there. Then we have a screen and a logo. I like this logo. It's a consistent logo. The effect is cool. I saw this kind of style trending a little while ago, so I'm sure there's some tutorials on it and stuff, so I don't really know how much of this is like unique to you. Here's some logos. Here we have a logo from Jolt. Now, I like the logo. The eye could do some work. I feel like it goes against the style of a mascot. Mascots have to be cleaner. I don't think the red text here works. I would say choose a different font, have it a little bit bigger, going over the logo more, make more of a statement out of the name. And just keep working on it. The dragon itself is cool. The more you do stuff like that, the better your mascot logo is going to become. This here is really nice. This is really simple. This reminds me of one of my favorite logos of all time. If I can find it, I'll put it up on screen. It's that kind of ribbon effect with the colors. This works really nicely. I rate this. This banner is very average. It's white on white text that you can hardly read. The gradient effects don't really work. They're a bit messy and overused, so I'm not a fan of this banner. Here's some artwork from Spinston. I like what you've tried to do here. It's different. It's like a character that's like eroding, and the fact it's Egyptian, I imagine it being like in the desert and it's all just falling apart in the wind. Like, it's a cool effect, but I would say you haven't pulled it off well enough. If you look at how much is coming off of her body, yet how much of the body is still intact, I would say you needed to have more kind of pieces flying apart. I don't know, I like the vision, but maybe I'd have liked to have seen it executed quite differently. This is quite unique. The background's pretty cool. I haven't seen a logo on something like that before. Yeah, you know, this is its own thing. I don't really know how to critique it. It's quite interesting. And Upload 3, I'm not a fan of this at all. It's very generic. There's not much going on there. Here's some artwork from Casper. I really like this. It's like LED neon sign type artwork. It's very cool. The colors work nicely together. Yeah, I rate that. This, however, I'm not a very big fan of. The fourth logo I really like. He actually gave me some background on this. It was done for a family business, so shout out this business. It's some kind of dog looking after service, I'm guessing. You can see it's like, it's a poolie dog and shampooly, so there's bubbles and stuff, you know. I like that a lot. Here's Casper's final piece of artwork. Chill out, trucking. It's simple, it works. You know what's in the background, even though it's a bit blurred, you can see it's a truck. The text down the bottom isn't as clean. I would have maybe stuck with the first layer style or gone for something different at the bottom. Here's more artwork from this guy, who I cannot pronounce. I rate this, it's very simple. The text disappearing in the background, the way the character's looking down, the background itself is quite nice. Yeah, I like this. Right now we have what I think is the last person on this page. It is indeed. His name is Ekop. these are all very simple. I would say there's nothing too special about them. Keep trying to find your style. Maybe look at some graphic designers that you really like and figure out how to kind of jump towards that direction. Just keep experimenting with Photoshop, because until you know enough about Photoshop, even very simple logos like these, they're going to look a bit generic. You know, I can see straight away like, oh, it's a drop shadow, it's a gradient in the background, you've thrown a white stroke on the outside. It's all stuff that you can do quite early on in Photoshop. So I would say just keep trying to find your style, and bang. Yo, so I've been thinking about it, I've gone through everyone's artwork, and I decided that I wanted to choose this guy, Jolt NF. I loved the J logo. I felt like the dragon logo was very promising, he's going in a good direction. I didn't like the banner, but that wasn't going to be enough to throw me off. However, I found out that the J logo is actually stolen. I did a little Google Images search, it wasn't hard to find. I looked at the person who's made it, and I'm 99% sure that it's not Jolt's. So we're going to have to move on to the next person. Jolt, hit me up if you can prove me wrong that this is actually your logo and the other person has in fact stolen it. Then by all means I'll make you a logo. But as I said, all artwork has to be your own. That's why in the next giveaway competition that's probably going to be pretty soon, I'm going to be choosing a very strange subject matter, just so you guys can't take any artwork that's already out there. I'm going to be like, right, I want you to draw a squid wearing Yeezys, or, you know, just some really random thing, just to encourage people to try and discover their own style and really get creating some weird artwork. But anyway, because I can't pick him, I'm now going to go ahead and choose my second option, which is this guy, the only person who I can't pronounce. It's Japanese for Max. Actually, I did the translation. I'm picking him because he's unique. It's not often I see this color grey with white. I love this text here, it looks so nice. And he's confident with his own style. Here, for example, it's super minimalistic, but it looks really nice. I would have loved to have seen more artwork from him, but as I'm happy with everything that he has posted, he posted one more thing as well that's a bit further down. Oh yeah, it was this one, which I thought was quite clean. I'm a big fan of his stuff. It jumped out at me whilst also remaining super minimalistic and clean. So yeah, hit me up, bro. I've already sent you a message. We can start discussing what kind of logo you want. And to everyone watching this video, stay tuned, because very soon you're going to see what happens with the logo. I'm going to make the whole client case study public so you guys can see what his ideas are, and then you'll be able to watch me creating it. I'm sorry if you didn't win. Thanks to everyone that entered. Thanks to everyone that just watched both of the videos but didn't enter. We're going to be doing it again very soon, like I said, with some crazy ideas, and I want you all to enter, even if you're not designers, even if you're not good at graphics, even if you don't draw. Just have a go at creating whatever it is that I come up with, because like I said, it's not the best designers, the best artists that I'm looking for. It's just funny, unique, different styles of artwork, people that aren't scared to do something different. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This took me a long time to edit, so if you did make it this far, drop a like, comment down below Pickle Gang, okay? If you're still here, comment Pickle Gang. I want to know if you're still here. Thank you all so much for watching. I think I've already said that. My name's been James, and I hope to see you in my next video. That is me out. Bree!